Welcome to the channel. This video is going to be an important one because we're going to dive into something that affects millions of people worldwide: mental health. Whether you're watching this for yourself, a loved one, or just out of curiosity, it's essential to understand how to recognize the signs of mental illness before they take a serious toll. We've all experienced moments of sadness, anxiety, or stress, right? But what if these emotions don't just pass or go away after a while? What if they persist and evolve into something that starts to affect your day-to-day life, relationships, and overall well-being? It's easy to feel isolated in moments like this, as if you're the only one going through these challenges, but you're not alone. In fact, you're one of many people who might be experiencing the same struggles. The National Alliance on Mental Illness has identified certain key warning signs that can indicate the presence of a mental health disorder. These signs, when experienced frequently or intensely, should never be ignored. In today's video, we're going to go over 8 dangerous signs of mental illness that, if you notice them, should prompt you to seek help. We'll dive deep into each sign, explain its impact, and discuss how it might show up in your life. Stay tuned until the very end, because what we're talking about today could be life-changing. Let's get started. 1. Mood swings. When we talk about mood swings, it's not just about feeling happy one moment and upset the next. Sure, we all experience emotional ups and downs. Life is a roller coaster after all. But when mood swings happen often and unpredictably, it can indicate something much deeper. Imagine you're feeling on top of the world one moment, confident, social, and energetic, and then out of nowhere, you plummet into despair. You might feel hopeless, angry, or even numb, all without any clear reason. This kind of emotional instability can be a sign of various mental health disorders, including bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, or even certain types of depression. What's key here is the intensity and frequency of these changes. Do you feel like you're constantly riding an emotional roller coaster? Do these shifts interfere with your daily life, your work, your relationships? If so, it's a warning sign that you shouldn't ignore. People who experience severe mood swings might also find that they are unable to maintain their usual level of social engagement or work performance. One day they're highly productive, and the next, they're struggling to even get out of bed. This disruption can have a profound impact on all aspects of life. If you notice that your moods swing rapidly, leaving you feeling out of control, it may be time to talk to a professional. 2. Chronic anxiety. Anxiety. It's that nagging feeling of worry, fear, or unease that everyone experiences from time to time. But what happens when that feeling doesn't go away? When it lingers, festers, and begins to control your life? That's where chronic anxiety steps in. Chronic anxiety is not simply being nervous before a big presentation or worrying about your future. It's a constant, overwhelming sense of fear or dread that doesn't seem to have a clear cause. It's the heart racing, the mind spiraling, the constant rumination on worst-case scenarios, even when everything around you is perfectly fine. This could be a sign of an anxiety disorder, such as generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, or social anxiety disorder. These conditions can severely affect a person's ability to function, making it difficult to leave the house, engage with others, or even make decisions. If you feel as though anxiety is dictating your life, causing physical symptoms like dizziness, sweating, or even chest pain, it's not something to brush off. Chronic anxiety can have a profound impact on your physical health as well, triggering things like digestive issues, insomnia, and muscle tension. It's a cycle that's difficult to break on your own, but with support and treatment, it's possible to regain control. 3. Irregular sleep. Sleep. We all know how important sleep is for our mental and physical health. But what happens when your sleep patterns start to fall apart? Irregular sleep, whether it's insomnia, oversleeping, or frequent waking throughout the night, can be a major red flag. Sleep is a cornerstone of emotional well-being. When we don't get enough rest, it impacts our mood, cognitive function, and overall health. But when someone begins to experience chronic sleep disturbances, it could be a sign that something deeper is going on. Conditions like depression, anxiety, or even PTSD can disrupt your sleep cycle, leaving you feeling exhausted during the day and restless at night. If you're finding it impossible to fall asleep, or you wake up constantly during the night, tossing and turning, it's crucial to look at the bigger picture. Are there underlying feelings of stress or sadness? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Irregular sleep can not only harm your physical health, but can also worsen mental health conditions. Sleep is often the body's way of signaling that something's not right. Pay attention to these signals. 4. Severe tantrums. Severe tantrums, or emotional outbursts, aren't just reserved for children. Adults, too, can experience moments where their emotions feel overwhelming and uncontrollable. If you find yourself throwing temper tantrums, becoming irate over minor frustrations, or even engaging in aggressive behaviors, it could be a sign of an underlying mental health condition. For adults, these emotional explosions can be tied to mood disorders, such as bipolar disorder or intermittent explosive disorder, or even trauma-related disorders. These outbursts might seem disproportionate to the situation at hand, and afterward, you may feel regret, guilt, or confusion about what happened. The key thing to watch for is the severity of the reaction. Is it happening frequently? Is it affecting your relationships or your ability to function at work or school? When these emotional outbursts become more intense or frequent, it's important to reach out for help. Therapy or counseling can help identify the triggers behind these episodes and develop healthier coping mechanisms. 5. Feeling like you're nothing. Have you ever felt completely worthless, like you're not good enough, not deserving of love, or that you have no value? These feelings, when persistent, can be a sign of a serious mental health condition, such as depression or self-esteem issues. It's important to understand that everyone has negative thoughts at times, but when these thoughts become constant and overwhelming, they can severely affect your perception of yourself and your place in the world. You might begin to feel like you're invisible, like no one cares, or that you're incapable of achieving anything worthwhile. Depression often brings with it a pervasive sense of worthlessness. You may have a hard time identifying your strengths or may focus only on your flaws. If you notice that these feelings are becoming overwhelming, leading to thoughts of harming yourself, it's crucial to seek professional help immediately. You're not alone in this, and there are ways to rebuild your sense of self-worth. 6. Detachment from reality. Now let's talk about something that can be particularly unsettling: detachment from reality. This can take many forms, such as dissociation, hallucinations, or feeling disconnected from the world around you. For example, you might find yourself in a situation where everything feels dreamlike, like you're floating above your own body, or you start to question if things around you are real. These experiences can be symptoms of conditions like dissociative disorders, schizophrenia, or severe anxiety. Detachment from reality is not just a fleeting feeling. It can be a persistent, confusing experience that interferes with your ability to live a normal life. If you or someone you know is having trouble distinguishing between what is real and what is not, it's critical to seek medical help as soon as possible. Treatment can help regain a sense of grounding and connection with the world. 7. Failure to maintain stable relationships. Relationships are a vital part of our lives. We rely on them for support, love, and a sense of belonging. But when mental health struggles begin to take over, maintaining healthy, stable relationships can become increasingly difficult. If you find yourself pushing people away, withdrawing from loved ones, or struggling to connect with others, this can be a sign of depression, social anxiety, or even narcissistic traits. The inability to maintain healthy relationships can result in feelings of isolation and loneliness. And it's not just about romantic relationships. This can affect friendships, family connections, and even your professional life. If you're noticing a pattern of unstable or deteriorating relationships, it may be time to look deeper at the root cause, which could be a mental health condition. Understanding how your mental health affects others is a crucial step toward healing and rebuilding those connections. 8. Extreme suspicion. Finally, extreme suspicion. It's normal to be cautious at times, especially in situations that feel uncertain or threatening. But when suspicion becomes overwhelming and irrational, when you start believing that people are out to get you or that everyone is lying to you, this could be a sign of something more serious, such as paranoia, delusions, or even a personality disorder. Extreme suspicion can lead to a breakdown in trust with family, friends, and colleagues, leaving you feeling isolated and misunderstood. It may even lead to actions that seem extreme or unreasonable, like avoiding people or refusing to engage with those you once trusted. If this suspicion is affecting your life, it's important to seek professional support. There are ways to address the root causes of these feelings, understand why they're happening, and work toward better mental and emotional stability. These are the 8 warning signs of mental illness that you should never ignore. They're not just fleeting feelings or simple problems. They're deep signals from your mind and body that something needs to change. If you identify with any of these signs, remember that it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to go through this alone, and seeking professional guidance is a sign of strength, not weakness. The National Alliance on Mental Illness reminds us that understanding these signs and addressing them early can prevent more serious complications down the road. It's never too late to reach out, whether it's talking to a therapist, a doctor, or someone you trust. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need to hear this message, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on mental health and wellness. You're worth the effort. Take care of yourself.